Welcome to the Health Force product training on Vitamineral Earth. So the first thing I'd like to do is give you a little background information on plant medicine that will help you understand why Earth is such an important product. Modern medicine has responded to the health crisis in our culture by creating isolated chemical compounds known as pharmaceutical drugs. Unfortunately, these drugs oftentimes produce bizarre and damaging side effects in the people that consume them. And what's interesting is that many of these drugs are actually based on compounds were originally extracted from plants. So the plant is certain bioactive compounds in the plant are extracted and concentrated, and that effectively becomes the drug. Now, when you consume the plant in whole food form, these bioactive compounds that are in it that are made into drugs actually don't produce unwanted and toxic side effects in the whole food form of the plant. So it's only when they're concentrated and isolated that they end up producing side effects. And the compounds that are in plants that are typically extracted to form drugs are known as phytonutrients. These are the biologically active substances in plants which are responsible for giving plants their color, flavor, and disease resistance. These substances are kind of like they're part of the immune system of the plant. They help protect the plant from their environment so the plant doesn't get eaten or uh, you know, destroyed basically by a predator, by bacteria, or whatever. And when we humans consume these phytonutrients, they serve to help protect us as well. Um, and although phytonutrients are not nutrients in the classic sense, like minerals and vitamins, for example, with minerals and vitamins, you have to consume them to be healthy. Not the case with phytonutrients. They're not required for health. However, they are required for optimum health, in my opinion, because many of these phytonutrients exert beneficial balancing effects on human physiology, usually without significant side effects, especially if they're found in the whole food form. And virtually all native tribes figured this out. They would collect various roots, barks, and herbs from their environment and then make teas and broths out of that by putting it in a big pot and just boiling it in water for a time and then drinking that tea. And unfortunately, however, modern humans haven't figured this out like the native peoples did. The modern diet, is oftentimes very deficient in phytonutrients. One of the reasons is people just don't eat fruits and vegetables. I mean, the plants are what produce these phytonutrients. So if you want to get phytonutrients in your diet, you have to eat plants. And unfortunately, many people don't eat a lot of plants in their diet. They eat on a lot of processed foods instead. And another aspect with the modern world is that our soil has become so depleted, so that the soil is so lacking in nutrients that the plants can't even make a lot of phytonutrients. So even if you do eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, it doesn't mean you're getting a lot of phytonutrients in your diet, because you could be eating fruits and vegetables that are coming from very depleted soil and didn't really make any phytonutrients. Another issue is that we've hybridized our food to be very palatable. I mentioned that these phytonutrients are oftentimes associated with the color and flavor aspect of the plants. And oftentimes it's the really unpleasant flavors like bitterness or astringent flavors that are associated with the phytonutrients. So we've hybridized those kind of flavors out of our food. Lettuce is a great example of that. You go back 10,000 years and lettuce, it had thorns. It was a very bitter plant, but that was hybridized over and over again and eventually ended up being what we now call lettuce. Very palatable, very bland, very low in phytonutrient content. Now, dandelion, there's a food that can actually is full of phytonutrients. It's very bitter and but what do we do as modern humans with dandelion? Instead of eating it, because it could really help us be healthy, we spray Roundup on it to kill it in our lawns because we don't like the way it looks for some reason. It's kind of a sad commentary on the modern life. Um, but the bottom line is that modern food is not only lacking in micronutrients, it's seriously lacking in phytonutrients, either because it's coming from depleted soil or the food has been so hybridized to have all the bitter flavors removed and there's no phytonutrients in that food. So it's a significant problem for us modern humans getting high levels of phytonutrients into our diet. And that's really what Earth was created to do. So, Vitaminal Earth, and we typically just call this product Earth for short, is an herbal tonic with 20 different root sparks and herbs, which are known for their phytonutrient content. These root sparks and herbs are called typically medicinal root sparks and herbs by modern herbalists. And this product is very grounding, it's nourishing, it's loaded with minerals and vitamins, but specifically, it's very high in phytonutrients. And the formula harnesses the best of the world's plant wisdom from both indigenous peoples and modern herbalists. For example, it includes the 8-herb Essiac remedy. Essiac remedy was an herbal remedy that was originated in Native American culture in Canada, and this remedy was given to a nurse who was working in a hospital up in Canada. The nurse gave the remedy to her patients, and she experienced really fabulous benefits and results from giving this remedy to her patients. It started out as a 4-herb remedy, and that was later evolved into an 8-herb remedy. So all 8 herbs in that remedy are in earth. I mentioned that earth is very rich in minerals and vitamins as well as phytonutrients, and earth can be taken on its own, or it's really the perfect complement to vitamin green. Vitamin green is our best-selling green superfood powder, and earth really provides the essential fatty acids that are not present in significant quantities in the greens, as well as thousands of beneficial phytonutrients from the herbs, roots, and barks that really synergize and amplify the effects of the abundant micronutrients in vitamin green. So we really feel that earth and vitamin green are very complementary products. You don't have to take both of them together, but we certainly feel that taking them both together is a very powerful addition to your wellness program. So I'd like to take some time here and really dive into this formula to see exactly what makes up this great product. First thing to know is that Earth is 100% food, no binders, fillers, excipients, or synthetic nutrients in this product. It's also 100% organic. Basically, that means that it's passed a variety of different tests for contaminants, namely 292 different pesticides, irradiation, and GMOs. And those laboratory tests have revealed 0 levels of contaminants. I mentioned the product contains all 8 Essiac herbs. Those herbs are burdock, rhubarb root, red clover, slippery elm, watercress, kelp, blessed thistle, and sheep sorrel. If I really had to describe what these 8 herbs do as they work in the body, I would really classify this formula as a blood cleansing formula. And really, the main herbs in the formula are burdock and sheep sorrel. All the other herbs in the Essiac blend really support the burdock and the sheep sorrel in their work of cleansing the blood and really supporting the liver. And speaking of liver, Earth is just loaded with liver support herbs. Some of the herbs in Earth that support liver function are burdock, dandelion, rhubarb, milk thistle, nettleroot, sheep sorrel, watercress, and others. Enormous amount of liver support in this formula because the liver is an enormously important organ. The liver does 500 different functions in the body, and if your liver is not functioning well, those 500 different functions aren't really happening so effectively in your body. And many people these days are suffering from poor liver function, and that's primarily because one of the liver's jobs is to remove toxins from the blood and carry them out of the body for us as they're secreted into the bowels and then eliminated with the bowel movement. And many of the toxins and chemicals we're exposed to in the modern world, really the liver was never designed to handle. So the liver is slowly getting damaged by many of these chemicals. And another reason people's liver function is not so great is because people eat way too much sugar. And sugar really tends to contribute to a condition called fatty liver, which really makes your liver function with very poor efficiency. So, Earth really addresses the poor liver function of modern humans with massive liver support in the formula. And I'd really like to kind of dive into the individual herbs, roots, and barks in the formula and talk about each one just to let you see the comprehensive nature of this formula and all the different phytonutrients that are present in it. First, we have astragalus root here. Astragalus root, number one herb in the formula. It's really important immune support herb. It's also a very potent adaptogen. It really helps your body deal with stress of many different kinds. And then we have one of the Essiac herbs, burdock root here. Burdock is a great blood cleanser, and it's also a prebiotic. It really supports the health of your intestinal ecology. and burdock also really supports liver health as well. Nettle root, another great liver support herb. Nettle root supports prostate health in men as well. And nettle root's also important herb that supports immune function. And next we have marshmallow root. Marshmallow is just a very mucilaginous, uh, rich herb. It's got a lot of mucilaginous fiber in it. That mucilaginous fiber will coat and soothe the intestinal walls, helping to reduce inflammation, so your intestinal walls can then heal with that reduced inflammation. Next, we have carrot root. Carrot's very rich in beta carotene. Beta carotene is an important antioxidant in the body. The body also can make vitamin A out of that beta carotene, and vitamin A is really important for reproductive health, bone health, and for immune function. And next we have yacon root, which is a very effective prebiotic. It feeds the friendly bacteria in your gut. You should have 3 to 5 pounds of bacteria in your gut, and that your intestinal ecology is the densest microbial community on Earth. And that intestinal ecology it does the metabolic equivalent of your liver. Hundreds of different metabolic processes are performed by these bacteria. Really critical that you have a healthy intestinal ecology, and Earth supports that with yacon root and a number of other prebiotics in the formula as well, like burdock root. Ginger root is in the formula as well, which helps stimulate bile flow, helping to cleanse the liver and the gallbladder and supporting digestion. Dandelion root, another great liver and gallbladder cleansing ingredient in the formula. Rhubarb root, another Essiac herb, very cleansing for the liver and also helps to promote healthy bowel function. We have flax seeds and chia seeds in here, providing the important omega-3 fatty acids, which help improve insulin sensitivity and blood sugar regulation in the body. And the essential fatty acids can also be converted by the body into a substance called EPA, which is highly anti-inflammatory, helping to reduce inflammation in the body. Another great liver herb here, milk thistle in the formula, helping to regenerate and detoxify the liver. The next category of ingredients here are the flavoring, effectively, with miso, chili powder, paprika, and sage. A lot of great nutrients and uh, antioxidants in these flavorings in the Earth formula. Next category of ingredients starts off with red clover, another Essiac herb, which is really rich in phytoestrogens that help reduce estrogen activity in the body. Many of us in the modern world have way too much estrogen activity going on. Red clover will help to balance that out. Um, and next we have slippery elm, another Essiac herb with a lot of mucilaginous fiber that helps to soothe the intestinal walls, reducing inflammation and promoting healing of those intestinal walls. Watercress, another Essiac formula herb in here, is another great liver and blood cleanser. It's also very alkalinizing for the body. And next we have white oak bark, which is very astringent actually, which helps to really tighten up the intestinal walls. A lot of people have leaky gut condition. White oak bark will help to tighten up those intestinal walls with its astringent properties, uh, to reduce that issue for people. White oak bark is very antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory as well. Cinnamon is another great antimicrobial herb which helps support blood sugar function. Kelp, very rich in nutrients, especially minerals, and it's also very mucilaginous, which helps to soothe that intestinal wall, reduce inflammation. And kelp, in addition, helps to chelate heavy metals out of the body. And another Essiac herb here, blessed thistle, great blood and liver cleanser. And finally, sheep's sorrel, another great liver purifier, which also has astringent properties, helping to reduce that leaky gut situation. We've got probiotics in the formula to support intestinal health and the proper digestion of these roots, barks, and herbs. And then finally, this fabulous Ayurvedic herb, shilajit, in the formula, which helps improve the bioavailability of all the other roots, barks, and herbs in the formula. So really a fabulous formula in this earth product. And finally, the product is packaged properly. You know, all plastic allows oxygen to pass through, and that oxygen will oxidize a lot of the fragile nutrients in a product like this. We package our product in the EcoFresh Nutrient Lock packaging, which is amber glass with a metal lid and a rubber seal and an oxygen absorber in the bottle, effectively producing a vacuum inside the bottle to preserve those nutrients in this product through the expiration date. I want to spend a little bit of time discussing the product features and benefits of this great product. We've talked a little bit about this already, but I want to dive into a little more depth here. Um, one of the things that's great about this product is it's a very grounding balance to the greens in Vitamin Green. And that's the grounding aspect is really provided by the root vegetables. They grow in the ground. They tend to have a grounding influence on our body, and the spices in earth also help provide that grounding sense, where the product just really helps you be in your body and be present instead of spaced out, so to speak. Um, Earth also contains potent levels of many different antioxidants that serve to support heart health and normalize inflammation levels. It's rich in bioavailable alkalizing minerals that support body homeostasis. We talked about a lot of the herbs in earth that support the health of the intestinal walls, the mucilaginous herbs and the herbs with astringent effects in the body help support intestinal health, a critical foundational aspect of health in the human body. A number of the herbs are also very beneficial for men in prostate health. Nettle root, slippery elm, watercress, burdock root, and the essential fatty acids in flax and chia really provide powerful prostate support for men. And there are obviously numerous phytonutrients, probably thousands of different phytonutrients in this formula that really help our body resist degenerative disease. So if we really wanted to sum up the different systems that this product exerts beneficial effects on. We could say number one, endocrine system balance. We talked a little bit about that with red clover, helping to support the health of our and balance of our endocrine system, reducing excess estrogen activity, and really all the different intestinal support aspects of Earth also help support endocrine system balance because the intestinal ecology is helpful to help eliminate excess spent hormones from our system. Um, the earth also is very beneficial for detoxifying our body. There are a lot of different herbs in this formula that support detoxification, a lot of different herbs in the formula that support our immune function. We talked a lot about how earth supports blood sugar function and regulation, critical aspect of health, and also the health of our GI tract with probiotics and with prebiotics and with astringent herbs and with mucilaginous herbs, a lot of different intestinal tract support in this formula. And we talked about prostate support for men, and many other systems in the body are supported by this formula. It's really just an overall health tonic, really just a fabulous formula. Love this product. So I just want to close by summarizing the product use information. First of all, we have three different sizes, 500 grams, 300 grams, and 150 grams available. This product, in terms of the suggested use, you want to start people slowly. It's a very cleansing product. You can definitely stimulate a cleansing reaction in somebody who's very toxic. So to avoid that, start people with just a teaspoon a day, and you increase slowly over a couple weeks to the suggested serving size of 1.5 tablespoons. You can take that all at once, or you could divide it up into a couple different dosages if you wish. And then in terms of how to take the product, you could mix this in just about anything. Purified water, sun teas, fresh vegetable or fruit juices, nut or seed milk, smoothies, either cold or hot soups, hot herbal teas, salad dressings, etc. I personally love sprinkling it over my dinner. I love the savory flavor of this product and just sprinkle it over my dinner every night. You might have been a little surprised to note that you could put this in hot things like hot soups or hot teas. If you do that, you know that you're going to destroy the probiotics in the product, some of the enzymes in the formula, and potentially some of the micronutrients as well. But you're going to get more phytonutrients out of your product. And to understand that, just imagine putting a tea bag in cold water, an herbal tea bag in cold water. Nothing much is going to happen. The water is not going to change color significantly. But if you put that herbal tea bag in hot water, the water will quickly turn dark as all the phytonutrients in the herbs steep out. Hot water really pulls phytonutrients out of these root sparks and herbs. So putting this product in something hot and the medicinal aspect of the product is going to become more bioavailable for you. However, you certainly can keep it cold. It's the probiotic formula in the product will help support the digestion of these root sparks and herbs even if they're not heated. So really it works either way, either hot or cold. Uh, Basically just get this product in you to get all the great phytonutrient benefits that come from it.